Hello student, I am Sangeeta Mansukhani and this is the video number 30, and in this video I will be explain exercise questions of chapter number 10th, chapter number 9th, hydrogen. So let us start exercise question number 30. Knowing the properties of H2O and D2O, do you think that D2O can be used for drinking purpose? Knowing the properties of H2O and D2O, do you think that D2O can be used for drinking purpose? So, the chemical reaction shown by water and heavy water, D2O, water, H2O and D2O, deuterium oxide, and also we have to say heavy water and heavy water are nearly identical, only for difference in it is a hydrogen and here the deuterium. So due to the difference in masses of the hydrogen and deuterium, such reaction occur at different rates and their equilibrium constant also vary. So the rates of reaction involving heavy water are slower than those involving ordinary water. If heavy water is consumed, so the enzyme catalyzed biochemical reaction will occur slower than their optimum rate, and heavy water will tend to replace hydrogen attached to the electronegative element in enzymes with deuterium. So the enzymes may then lose its ability to catalyze a biochemical reaction, and heavy water will interfere with regulatory mechanism and that control the biological process, and so hence prove to be toxic. So that is in simple way, deuterium oxide is a heavy water. So whenever we have to use heavy water, so all biochemical reaction, enzyme related, and then rates of reaction, equilibrium constant, all are represent slowing process. Okay, and then the enzyme may then lose its ability also. Okay, whenever catalyze a biochemical reaction. So heavy water will interfere with regulatory mechanism that control the biological process, hence prove to be toxic. Okay, so ordinary water and then heavy water, it is nearly identical, only for difference in mass of hydrogen. Okay, and difference, so deuterium such reaction occur at different rates because it's their equilibrium constant also vary, and then involving heavy water are slower than rate of reaction comparison than ordinary. Okay, because if heavy water is consumed, so enzyme catalyzed biochemical reaction will occur slower comparison than optimum rate. Then heavy water will tend to replace hydrogen attached to the electronegative atoms and in enzymes with deuterium. Okay, an enzyme lost its ability to catalyze a biochemical reaction, so heavy water will interfere with regulatory mechanisms that control the biological processes and so prove to be toxic. Next, question number 31. What is the difference between the term hydrolysis and hydration? Hydrolysis and hydration. Hydrolysis, that is means react with water. Hydrate, NaH, react with water. So water completely added in NaH. Okay, so Na react with OH, so NaOH and hydrogen replace. And hydration, water as a hydrate way, okay, as a crystallized way. So CuSO4 plus 5H2O, so forms CuSO4 dot 5H2O. Okay, so it is a hydration. So see this difference, water completely react with NaH and here water only added. Okay, so it is a hydrolysis and it is a hydration. Then question number 32. Question number 32. How can saline hydrides remove traces of water from organic compounds? Saline hydrides. So remove traces of water from organic compounds because hydride ions is a strong Bronsted base. And therefore can extract a proton easily from an acid. Okay, So in the presence of the hydride ion, see hydride ion always negative charge and react with water molecules. So traces impurities in present as traces impurities in organic compounds. So act as a Bronsted acid. Reason, here you see acid donates its proton H plus ion, so water donate H plus ion to the base H minus. So H minus react with H plus ion, so formation hydrogen. So when ionic hydrides, okay, so this is the saline hydrides. So when an ionic hydride, for example sodium hydride NaH, is added to the organic compound like water, so traces water content as follows. So NaH, here H hydrogen hydride way react with Ha plus, so NaOH and then H2 gas remove. Okay, so result organic compound get rid of water. Okay, so saline hydride remove traces of water from organic compound. So first hydride ion is a strong Bronsted base, so it can extract a proton easily from an acid, because in the presence of the hydride ion, the water molecule present as a trace impurities in organic compound, so act as a Bronsted acid. So acid donates its proton H plus ion, here water act as a Bronsted acid. So acid donates its proton H plus ion to the base H minus, so dihydrogen is formed. So H minus plus H2, so H2 plus OH minus. Okay, an ionic hydride example likely sodium hydride NaH react with water, so NaOH and H2 gas, so easily organic compound gets rid of water. Then question number 33, what do you expect the nature of the hydrides is if formed by the element of the atomic number 15, 19, 23, 44 with dihydrogen? So 15 element with Z is equal to symbol for atomic number, so 15 is P, phosphorus. Okay, so 15 number phosphorus, and it is a non-metal, and compare the behavior towards water. So it is a non-metal and it will form covalent hydride PH3. It is slightly soluble in water. Okay, so when this non-metal dissolve in water, okay, so phosphorus formation PH3 hydride. Okay, so it will form covalent hydride PH3 and it is slightly soluble in water. Then second one, 19th number. So element with Z is equal to 19 and 19 number is potassium K. An alkali metal, potassium is a alkali metal, and it will form saline hydride K plus H minus potassium hydride. With water it releases H2 gas. Then 23 number, element with Z is equal to 23 and 23 is vanadium, and vanadium is transition metal. Okay, vanadium is transition metal and it will form metallic hydride. Clear? Then 44 is again a transition element, ruthenium, Ru symbol. Vanadium symbol is V and ruthenium symbol is Ru, and it is can form metallic or interstitial hydride. Okay, it can form metallic or interstitial hydride. So element with Z is equal to 44 is again a transition element, ruthenium, and it is form metallic or interstitial hydride. So 15 number phosphorus, 19 number potassium, 23 number vanadium, and 44 number ruthenium. Okay, question number 34. Do you expect different products in solution when aluminum third chloride and potassium chloride treated separately with normal water, acidified water, and alkaline water? So first we have to explain aluminum third chloride and potassium chloride react separately. So potassium chloride ionic salt, so gives ions K plus and Cl minus, and a strong acid and a strong base, and ionized in water, and its aqueous solution is neutral, so not affected by an acid or base, so ions remain as such. But aluminium chloride is salt of weak base. Okay, B weak base which? Aluminium hydroxide, AlOH whole 3, and it is a strong acid HCl. Okay, so it undergoes hydrolysis. So AlCl3 react with water. So aluminium hydroxide, AlOH3, weak base, and H plus and Cl minus, that is means strong acid, it is formed. So when the question is, when the solution, when the aluminium different products in solution, when aluminium chloride and potassium chloride treated separately. Okay, so aluminium chloride react with in acidic water, so aluminium chloride convert into the Al3 plus and 3Cl minus, and then weak base AlOH whole thrice. So acidic water in the presence of the H plus N, so Al3 plus and then water. Then second number, whenever take acidified, first we have to take normal water, then acidified water. Okay, and then third one is basic water, alkaline. So like when the solution is made alkaline, so aluminium hydroxide react with OH minus ion. So aluminium hydroxide react with OH minus ion, so it is formed complex way, AlOH whole 4 minus. So tetrahydroxo aluminate third ion, tetrahydroxo aluminate third ion. So here first one is aluminium chloride react with potassium, aluminium chloride and potassium chloride treated separately with normal water. Then second one, when solution react with aluminum chloride, this is the second, react with acidic water, and then third is, this is third, alkaline water. Okay, so first, second and third. Question number 35. How does hydrogen peroxide behave as a bleaching agent? Okay, so bleaching action of the hydrogen peroxide. Question is, how does hydrogen peroxide behave as a bleaching agent? Because the bleaching action of the hydrogen peroxide is due to the production of the nascent oxygen when it decomposes. So H2O2 decomposes into the water and oxygen. So here production of the nascent oxygen whenever it decomposes, and this oxygen so produced act as a bleaching agent. It can bleach articles like hair, wool, silk, etc. Okay, so H2O2 behave as a bleaching agent because it is produce nascent oxygen. Okay, whenever decompose. Clear? So it can bleach articles like hairs, wools and silk, etc. Then question number 36. What do you understand by the terms hydrogen economy? First is hydrogen economy, second is hydrogenation, third is syngas, and fourth water gas shift reaction, and fifth is fuel cell. All 5 points already explained in my notes, but today again I explain. First is hydrogen economy. Hydrogen economy an alternative, and its basic principle is economy is the transportation and storage of energy in form of liquid or gaseous hydrogen. An advantage of the hydrogen economy, energy transmitted in the form of the hydrogen, not as a electric power. First time of India, a pilot project using hydrogen as fuel was launched in October 2005 for running automobiles, and then 5% hydrogen mixed in CNG used in four-wheeler vehicles. And so percentage of the hydrogen gradually increased to reach the optimum level, and then nowadays used in fuel cells for generation of the electric power, and it is a expected economically viable and safe sources. Okay, so economy is the transportation and the storage of the energy in the form of liquid or gaseous hydrogen, and its advantage in energy transmitted in the form of hydrogen, not as electric power. This is the advantage. And first time of India pilot project using hydrogen as fuel was launched in October 2005 for running automobiles. 5% hydrogen mixed in CNG used in four-wheeler vehicles, and percentage of the hydrogen gradually increase to reach the optimum level, and nowadays used in fuel cell for generation of the electric power, and it is expected economically viable and safe sources. Then second, what do you understand by the term second, hydrogenation? Hydrogenation. Hydrogenation of vegetable oil like use nickel catalyst and then gives edible fats like margarine and vanaspati ghee. And hydroformylation of the olefins that is means double bond compounds first convert into the aldehyde and then gives alcohol. Okay, like say all vegetable oil hydrogen, see hydrogenation of the vegetable oil, and here also olefins also. So hydroformylation that is means H2 and then CO also use. So alkene, so this is convert into the R's, double bond is break, one side hydrogen and one side CO attached, so R CH2 CH2 CHO aldehyde form, and then aldehyde again react with hydrogen, hydrogenation of aldehyde, so CHO. So what is the form? R CH2 CH2 CH2OH, both side hydrogen attached, so alcohol are formed. So this is the hydrogenation. Next, third is, what do you understand by the term third, syngas? See, syngas. Whenever hydrocarbon react with water at the temperature 1270 Kelvin in the presence of the nickel catalyst, so it is formed CO, carbon monoxide, and 2N plus 1 H2. Like example, we have to take first lowest hydrocarbon methane CH4 gaseous state and react with steam, that is means H2O gaseous state, 1270 Kelvin temperature, and then nickel, so it is formed CO gas and then hydrogen gas. Okay, so CO plus H2 mixture of the gas, and this mixture of the CO plus H2, so it is known as water gas, and then synthesis gas also we have to say syngas. So this gas is used for synthesis of methanol and hydrocarbons. Okay, so methane react with water in the at the temperature 1270 Kelvin temperature and nickel catalyst, so it is formed carbon monoxide gas and H2 hydrogen. So this mixture known as water gas, synthesis gas, and syngas. Then next, what do you understand by the terms fourth number, water gas shift reaction? Call gasification related from water gas shift reaction. So carbon solid, the process of the production of the syngas from coal is called coal gasification, and it is also known as water gas shift reaction because see, carbon coal we have to use and then react with steam at the temperature 1270 Kelvin. So syngas form CO gas and hydrogen gas, and then this CO carbon monoxide react with steam at the temperature 673 Kelvin, and then catalyst iron chromate. So steam we have to use, water react with gas, see water plus gas, So water gas shift reaction, because carbon monoxide convert into the carbon dioxide gas, okay, hydrogen gas. So this is called water gas shift reaction. And here carbon dioxide is removed by scrubbing with sodium arsenate solution. So production of hydrogen here increased by reacting carbon monoxide of syngas with steam. Presently, approximately 77% of the industrial dihydrogen is produced from petrochemical, 18% from coal, 4% electrolysis of aqueous solution, and 1% from other sources. So this reaction is water gas shift reaction. Carbon monoxide react with steam, temperature 673 Kelvin, and then catalyst iron chromate, so convert into the carbon monoxide and then hydrogen gas. So this reaction is known as water gas shift reaction. Then what do you understand by the terms fifth number, fuel cell? Fuel cell. Fuel cells are devices for producing electricity from fuel and in the presence of an electrolyte. Okay, so fuel cells are devices for producing electricity from fuel in the presence of an electrolyte, and dihydrogen can be used as fuel in these cells. Okay, and it is preferred over other fuels because it is eco-friendly and releases greater energy per unit mass of fuel as compared to gasoline and other fuels. Okay, so fuel cells are devices for producing electricity from fuel in the presence of the electrolyte and dihydrogen used as a fuel in these cells. So preferred over other fuels, it is preferred over other fuels because it is a eco-friendly. Main concept is eco-friendly and releases greater energy per unit mass of fuel as compared to gasoline and other fuels. So in exercise questions, total 36 questions. In textual questions, total 36 questions. So I completely explain. So according to me, you got it.